Ever since I first played Solomon's Key 2, which is basically just fire and ice at a faster speed and with a different final boss, I had the question, how fast can I go? I've done a lot of speed running, but never running the game at a faster speed. This is the story of how I beat fire and ice at 3x speed. The first 9 levels are very easy, as it's hard for you to die in the regular game, and there isn't any time pressure to force you to go fast, and possibly make a mistake. Even if you do make a mistake, it isn't dangerous enough for it to matter. 1-10 was the first level that I actually had some trouble with. This level should be the first hard one, but I doubt it'll be too hard. Oh, that's my first death. That wasn't really because of the scrolling, I just didn't press the A button. There we are. Most of World 2 was also pretty easy. The main issue I faced, which persisted through the whole game, was holding down a button for too long, since even the shortest of inputs would move down quite a lot. I expected 2-10 to be hard, but it was around the same difficulty. Oh, I feel like it'll be quite hard for me to time 2-10. Oops. I think the fires might move too fast for me to react to. Okay. There we go. Nice. So far it seems relatively easy. I don't think 2-10 was as hard as I expected it to be. Like, I thought I would retry it multiple times. Oh! I think that's my first death outside of the boss stages. I'm taking it really slow to make up for how ultra fast the game is. Oh no! Right now this challenge seems quite easy, but I feel like I'm gonna eat those words when I get to World 10. It's not a speedrun, so that mistake doesn't matter. Plus all of these other mistakes. Even though this one is scrolling, I feel like it's short enough that the scrolling won't matter. Yeah, you still make it before. Oh, I didn't expect the scrolling to be that short though. I just can't ever hold down a button or I'm just gonna fall into a fire. I'm just always tapping them for half a second. No! I knew it was gonna happen at some point. I knew I would fall off the edge in one of these levels. Ah! Again? I don't know why I just held down the button. Oh, this one is gonna be hard, I feel like. The scrolling ones are definitely harder, assuming the scrolling screens end up having a tight timing. Since the enemies only move between 2 points, I feel like these cycles are pretty easy to learn. I think longer cycles are gonna be harder, and scrolling screens with tight timings are gonna be harder. Oh, I was meant to do that earlier, I just forgot. Oh, oof. That's not something I can do there. Ah! I lost again. These aren't even 4-10 specific things I'm dying to, like cycles, it's just falling off the edge. There we are. I think to be safe, I'm just gonna do that so I can't mess it up. Taking 2 minutes for the stage is pretty crazy. Ah! Ah! I'm used to the 5-7 course where I keep dying on that in speedruns, not the 5-2 course. I made a good amount of mistakes on this level early into playing Fire and Ice, but I don't think I'll have any trouble with it now, even at 3x speed. No! That doesn't really impact anything, but still. Wait, why did I do that? There we are. I don't know why I had so much trouble with that section. The challenge about going super fast in Fire and Ice just ends up being, go super slow in Fire and Ice so you don't die by going super fast. Like, speedrunning is way faster than this, even though it's supposedly 3 times faster. Of course when I'm not... Oh, never mind. I was gonna say, of course when I'm not speedrunning I do 5-7 correctly, but I can't do 5-7 right even now. I mean, it probably wouldn't have been correct anyway because of all the hesitations. Oh, and I guessed that one too. That make the level like 20 seconds longer. I feel like I'm gonna die at this point. Even though it's easy, it just seems dangerous to be 1 tile away from falling into the fire. Okay, this one I think I might end up having a challenge on. Since usually the scrolling isn't tight, but it might end up being tight since the scrolling speed is 3 times faster, while I can't do inputs 3 times as fast to keep up with it. Okay, I don't think the scrolling's actually a challenge. Oops. Uh-oh. If you're enjoying the video so far, why not subscribe? I know it's been done to death at this point, but only 0.3% of my viewers are actually subscribed. You can also like, comment, and hype, as those are also great ways to support me. I feel like voiceover is gonna carry this video. Like, I doubt what I'm currently saying is gonna make it in the final cut. I mean, it would be silly if I would just put myself saying that in the final cut, but I don't know. This is definitely a lot easier than I first anticipated. Like, I knew the only levels that would pose a real challenge would be the final level of each world, but even those aren't that hard. Although I feel like 6-10 onwards, or like the last 5 final levels of each world, are gonna be like quite a lot harder. The second I hold on to a button instead of just pressing it, I end up dying. I guess it's better content, but... I don't know why I got spooked there. Why am I having trouble on 6-7? I've done that every time! I thought 5-7 was meant to be the annoying one where I keep making mistakes, not 6-7. I guess it's a different context, but... Oh, the classic easy one. I feel like there's always one easy level in each world, like this one, 6-8, 10-5. I know there's one in World 8 where it's like 4 seconds long or something. World 1 is basically like all that level. Okay, this one is gonna be tough. Wah! Wah! Ah! This one's actually a challenge. Wah! Woo! Okay, how am I meant to do that? Oh, he got me. This is... Is there a different way I can do that? I think the non-speedrun route might be necessary here. Or if it's not necessary, at least helpful. Okay. But then... Oh wait, no. I remember I was testing this level earlier to see if there's a faster way to do it than what ST did. And that is the safe way to beat it here. So I can place ice like this, tap that. Oh no, that doesn't work here. Okay, well, how do I do this then? Well, actually wait, no. Now that those guys are gone, it's as simple as just doing this. I was under the impression those guys were still here. I'm a bit too scared to do this the normal way, so I'm gonna do it that way. Hey, that I was just doing, which is sending this ice block. Oh, well, okay, I was meant to put an ice block here so I could do it. Oh no, that's wrong. I know I shouldn't have. Oh wait, this is the wrong way to do it as well. So now, okay, I can go here, kill this guy. There we are. Probably shouldn't have blocked that path, but it's probably fine. Let's do that, okay. We are safe. That was a much tougher one than everything else. So my hypothesis of the last half level 10s being way harder was correct. This is not a science experiment, I don't know why I said hypothesis. I feel like the first 9 levels are like filler until we get to the actual challenge of the -10s. My other earlier hypothesis of the tight timings and scrolling screens being the hardest seems to be right as well. I mean, I haven't done a hard scrolling level yet, but I did test one. Okay, we're fine. I'm gonna do that just in case. I tested 7-10 and 1-10 to see if they were possible before playing, since I didn't want to record a challenge only to figure out it's completely impossible. Then I'd have to lower the speed midway through the challenge to 2x speed or something, which sounds a lot worse than just starting at 2x speed. We're almost at a hard level, just 3 more fill levels. In the actual game, they're nowhere close to filler, but in this challenge they feel like filler, as the 3x speed doesn't make it too much harder. You just need to make sure you hold each key for barely any time so you don't go too far, and then you're good. I always get scared when I'm close to a fire or falling off the edge. Usually in regular fire and ice, that fear isn't warranted, but in this one, there's actually a decent chance of that happening. Okay. Usually this level isn't too hard, but it might end up being the hardest level. Oh. Oh. Okay. This is definitely one of the ones that has a tight timing then. Well, You can't do it that way. Let me try not going up there so I have more time to do this. Since you go up a lot of steps here. Is that easier? Oh, no. I don't think I'm gonna have enough time. Ah! Okay. Is it possible to make it? I feel like the timing is close. I wonder if it's easier to do it if you're like looping through. I don't know why I'm doing this. Don't do that. Don't do it that way. Lesson learned. It's probably doable. Oh, I'm just gonna reset. Oh, I forgot about the looping through. I think I know how to do this. Whoa! That was just in time. Oh. No! Okay, I know how to do it now. I was so close. Actually ahead of this wall, which I think happened last time. Now, don't fall. There we are! That was a tricky one. I recently made a second channel, where I'll upload VODs and other unedited videos, as well as some more Fire and Ice songs. If you're interested in that, subscribe to my second channel. That's the level of challenge I was expecting. Wow! It was a very, very interesting decision for me to choose to test 7-10 when seeing if this challenge would be doable, or scrapped into a darker lab of bad ideas. For transparency's sake, I did find out the solution when I experimented with it, and I just reenacted my train of thought to solve it during the challenge itself. I didn't push down this block! That's not even related to the challenge, I just forgot. I was thinking, oh, how am I meant to beat this level? When I was just missing the most obvious thing. Oh yeah, 8-4. When I was saying earlier that every world had an easy level, and there was one in World 8, this is the one I was referring to. 8-10 is gonna be a nightmare. I'm just thinking about it. I don't know. And that's just a loss. I went too far. Or more specifically, I removed the ice so it was just a block instead of a block and ice. Okay. Oh, already one cycle behind. The time it takes doesn't really matter, it's just about if you have the movement capabilities to make it through safely. I'm gonna blockade this so he doesn't get to me. Oh, wow, this is not at all the correct thing to do, but as I said earlier, the time doesn't matter as long as I beat it. Oh, actually, I think there's nothing hard about this now. How has this taken 3 in-game minutes? For reference, it usually takes a minute and 13 seconds. That was a lot easier than I expected. It was a bit like 6-10, which makes sense as they both have moving enemies. What made 6-10 harder is that there were fewer safe areas, while in 8-10 you could just wait and kill a lot of the enemies like the bats and flamefellows from a distance. I don't know if the base World 10 levels are gonna be a challenge or not, since they don't have anything that makes it a huge challenge, like the scrolling speed or moving enemies, but in general they were a challenge in the base game. I don't know if they would be drastically harder or just still a challenge like they are normally. We have 15 levels left, 2 of which are gonna be challenges. Well, actually, 9-10 you always have at least 30 seconds to wait for the score. I don't think the score is gonna be a challenge. That's slightly annoying. I feel like if 9-10 is still not a challenge, I'll have to contact the Fire and Ice devs to up the scroll speed. It's so slow! I don't think the Fire and Ice devs are gonna upload a patch to fix that specific thing for a 33-year-old game, though. At least it's a break for the speedrun, but you get that with Druidle's castle opening cutscene. And it's like 2 breaks in a row with 10 seconds of gameplay in between. We're almost at the silly 9-10. Will it actually be a challenge, or will there still be a solid 10 seconds of waiting? I'm noticing that I'm consistently sending the ice down 1 block before the fire will catch up to me. I feel like it can't go ultra slow anymore. I might actually lose this because of all those mistakes. Oh, I did! That's crazy! Oh my gosh. If I was doing it mistakeless, I doubt that would have happened, but it's not as ridiculously easy as I would have expected. Like, you don't have to wait for the scroll at all, and the fire is always 1 block below where you're walking. Nice, that was a lot harder than I expected. 9-10 has redeemed itself. Well, not really, you have to make the scroll speed 3 times faster for it to actually be an okay level of difficulty. That cutscene is way shorter than I remember. I'm used to waiting like 20 seconds for it. Ranking the late level 10s that have been difficult, 7-10 is definitely the hardest. Then I'd say 6-10, then 8-10, then 9-10. I wasn't paying attention. Ignoring the first 5, which are ridiculously easy, it's basically the earlier the level, the harder it is. I feel like Druidle might put a stop to that, but it can also go very slow, like one safe spot at a time. Druidle's difficulty definitely depends on how risky you want to take it. The scrolling levels are an impending danger where you have to move, but the moving enemies, like Druidle's fire, you can just take it super slow. Oh! So far, most of the deaths have just been me accidentally holding the button too long. I accidentally hold the button for too long. Dies immediately after from holding the button too long. I mean, there aren't any real other ways to die in the first 9 levels. The 3 things this challenge makes harder is holding the button too long and moving enemies and scrolling speed. You can't have moving enemies or scrolling screens in the first 9 levels, so the only way to die is holding a button for too long. The enemies and scrolling screens are harder since you don't have the reaction time to move 3 times faster than regular fire and ice, while the enemies do. For that reason, I think a task of 3x speed fire and ice would just be 3 times faster than the world record, while a regular player would have no real way to go 3 times faster than the regular pace. No matter how short the level is, I always get double the time. It's interesting how it's 3x the speed, yet double the time, which implies I'm going 1.5 times as fast as I usually do. How do I go back through that pipe more often when I'm not at 3x speed? I guess I'm just more attentive to pressing buttons for barely any time when I'm at 3x speed than normally. Like, I often just go backwards through a pipe because I'm just pressing a button too long. I forget which pipe specifically I go back through, but it is something I do quite often. We're getting close to the Druidle fight. I feel like it's been a while since I last did the Fire and Ice Druidle fight. I've been doing the Solomon's Key 2 Druidle fight quite a lot recently. I can hear you. I don't think I know what those kids' names are. Do they have names? All I know is that we're rescuing them, but I don't know anything else. Let me just try again. There wasn't actually any reason for me to try again. I thought they were entirely different fights, but the fight in Fire and Ice just seems to be a more polished version of the one in Solomon's Key 2. Let me just take it slow. And there we are! Druidle isn't actually hard, as you can just take it really slow. That's crazy. For 3x speed, I'm only like 40 seconds slower than my PB. Yes, it is possible to beat Fire and Ice at 3x speed. The only real challenges were 6-10 and 7-10. If you want to see a sequel to this video, where I do the bonus levels in Solomon's Key 2 at 3x speed, get this video to 10 likes.